Islam Sheikh Dwayne Bafabay. Islam, how are you today? I am well. I just got out the shower not too long ago. Feeling pretty well. I'm actually going to relock my hair. Washed it and had to use regular shampoo. I'm going to purchase some more of the shampoo that I usually get from I started buying from more herbs, but we been on a budget, and this shampoo we had, so I was trying not to go from the budget. So yeah, but anyway. It is May the 10th, 2023. I'm in Extended Stay America in Annapolis, Maryland, 120 Admiral Cochran Drive. And you probably can see some of the same items. No one's in the room but me. Imani should be on his way here in a little bit. He worked today. Today is Wednesday. Today I didn't have to work at Burger King. So, Islam. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty well. I gotta after I get through doing this video, I'm going to go to Burger King to get my check. So, or go up to Burger King and then get my check. So I guess what I want to say is just speak about to you some of the things I've learned on this spiritual path, being a spiritual practitioner. And I am so thankful to be on this path. I would never think, like I said, I'm going to say this to you, Sheikh Dwayne Bafabay. I'm Rhonda Arrington-Bey as your wife. I am. And I would never think 25 years ago, 35 years ago, or 30 years ago that there was a world out there that that's a spiritual world that is in truth in reference to unclean, unnatural, abomination spirits. Now I would assume there's some very few cases, but not like but to actually embrace the different planes, like in the Kabbalion, the Hermetic teachings of the Kabbalion, and I'm going to try to speak slowly because being a spiritual practitioner and studying thoughts, I know that unclean, unnatural spirits, one of their main goals is to make, after they study your thought process and your behavior, is to latch on to that stream of thought in your mind, because you have different areas of your mind dealing with memory, thoughts, visualization, and so forth. And to latch on to that thought process, because after a unclean, unnatural, filthy, abomination spirit stalk, study, force engage, you're sleeping, they force engaging for a while, they feel comfortable, okay? And let me just say this, to know that an unclean, unnatural, abomination spirit's goal is to be a part of your reincarnation, okay? Because they know that them existing helps keep the frequency low on planet Earth. And it's an attack on the organic free energy, the organic energies on planet Earth and the universe. They know. It's not like they don't know. They know what they're doing. They know the goal, whether it's a black, Negro, African American, male, and definitely female, that's unclean, unnatural, abomination, and spirit. Definitely those that are Mongoloid from South Central America, Mexico, that speak Spanish, that is unclean, unnatural, abomination, filthy spirit, really. Whether they're from India, Pakistan, wherever they may be from, Bangladesh, Europe, different parts of Europe, pale skin, different parts of Africa. If it's unclean, filthy, abomination, and spirit, they know the goal. They know the energy, the science of reincarnation. They know. And they know just by them existing and creating a world of harm, creating a world of harm, creating a world that's outside of natural law helps them exist and keep the frequency low. That is the attack. I've said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. That's the attack. And so with us, I remember in one of your recordings, you were speaking about how much we are worth individually. And my thought process, and I think you spoke energy, but it's energy. We're energy. We're spirit. Okay? These unclean, filthy, abomination spirits know that by manipulating, engaging, and attacking the mind, which is energy, because that's thought. Thought is energy. Thoughts can raise the frequency, and definitely thoughts can lower the frequency. So it can raise your protective field that surrounds you wherever you may be. For example, your energy field, or it can lower it. So they know by engaging, manipulating, and possessing the mind. That's Imani. Hold on. Imani? Okay. Hi. I'm going to get ready to go. I haven't went up there to get the check yet. I am. I just took a shower. And I'm doing a video right now. That's the sheet going about today. And I'm going to start the dishwasher and go for there. And when I come back, is 6 o'clock too late? No, because you do it at 6, right? And then, because then, okay. So I'm videotaping, okay? All right. How was your day? It was well. Okay. And I'm also recording. Okay. So anyway, they know that by engaging and manipulating, possessing the mind, which is thought, they have attacked the earth, the organic earth. They know. And they also, so by them knowing the process and the science on a low level of or just science period of reincarnation, and by them deliberately implementing behavior, thoughts of harm, sadistic harm, rape, molestation, this is on a spiritual plane, mental plane, but also it happens on a physical plane. Okay? Rape, molestation on the spiritual and mental plane, and we already know it happens on the physical plane. By them doing such harm, murder, causing sickness, illness, mental illness, scientists creating different forms of cloning without contemplating what kind of energy, or actually they do contemplate. Now I keep, because when you don't have a thought process of sadistic energy, mind, sometimes it's easy to say they probably, they didn't know. No, they knew. So cloning and so forth to bring forth another form of being which has no way of raising their frequency, but is in that world, the world that's unnatural and unclean, that's outside of natural law. And then they too, and whatever other creatures and species, artificial intelligence they create, because artificial intelligence, they're not from the stars, they're not cosmic, they're lab free. Whatever the scientists created, and then instead of them creating them to help raise the frequency of planet Earth in the universe. They created them, and then they created a world of harm and bondage with them. Whether it's trying to implement that species, that lab freak, to be some form of an authoritative position where they are working or involved in different aspects where those that are trying to if you for example, this is just a thought process. Imagine corrupt banks, hospitals, corrupt IRS, and other forms of, definitely, I'm going to stick corrupt hospitals having some form, this is just a thought process, of energy, of species, of lab freaks, artificial intelligence running it. And they know those, even though there are different humans that have been transformed through different mechanisms, science, they know that they're going to have to go to the hospital if an unclean spirit, unnatural spirit keeps engaging, or if they don't know how to heal themselves or use natural herbs. So what I'm trying to say is, scientists knew what they were doing. They were deliberately, when they created certain species or lab freaks or whatever that may exist. And so what I'm saying is, unclean spirits, unnatural spirits, they know what they're doing. They know the process of reincarnation, and they know that they are deliberately attacking Earth. They are attacking Earth and the universe deliberately by first attacking the mind and in every aspect of the body, which is, we are energy, spirit. So we, as natural, divine, celestial beings, or if you might not be celestial in your thought process, maybe you are just a lawful being from another part of the globe. Like Prophet Noble Ali said that he's going to, in his prophecy, said he's going to save 8% of the Europeans. So I'm like, what are the Europeans? But I mean, there were Europeans, and still are, fighting for freedom. They speak about freedom. I mean, there are more that's in that world than I think than that with the population. So if you think of a population of melanated, the Earth is naturally melanated. And then you have the small population of pale skins. All right, and it's getting smaller and smaller. I mean, this is not made up, it's truth. Okay, but so in that small population of pale skins, there's a predominantly of them are trapped or choose to live in a world that's outside of natural law. Okay? And so then you have the melanated, where you have a huge amount of them possibly are choosing, not possibly are, just a thought process, to live and embrace that world of unnatural law. So anyway, this is my thought process. So when I think about being here in Annapolis, Maryland, I've heard and knowing, for example, hearing the tablet go off while someone odd feedback in the room. They saying brother paid. So she love your son. Okay? So what I'm saying is unclean spirits, I don't know why would they say such things, first of all. And why would there be any form of feedback, low frequency in this room? And the Annapolis has is the Navy, the Army is prevalent. I mean, I see them everywhere. Okay? And the police, the Marines, I see them everywhere. The military. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're dealing with unclean, unnatural spirits, in reference to not dealing with, but you are aware of their existence. And then as a spiritual practitioner, I am aware that they know, because I'm aware of the different planes that exist. They know the agenda. They have an agenda. They do not care. Hence, they are unclean, filthy, and abomination. And I think I think the biggest truth is accepting there's a lot more than what you want to accept. You want to believe more, a lot more. Right now, I'm experiencing a thought about Matthew 13. Once again, Matthew 13. So I study thoughts in my mind constantly, because it's important. Because thoughts are energies. You get waves of thoughts. It's like, where did that thought come from? You know. So thoughts are energy. So anyway, getting back, I'll speak about, all you have to do is read Matthew 13 and go from there. But so this is I'm going back to frequency, okay? And why it is important for these unclean, unnatural spirits, abominations. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. They are an abomination. They choose, because it's their nature, to be outside of natural law. It's their nature. They don't care. They have unclean, unnatural, abomination spirits have gotten away with being a predator for so long upon those who didn't know, whether it's possessing the mind of the youth, where they're doing things that they shouldn't do, that gets them locked up in the juvenile system, where they get abused, mistreated by probably someone who maybe knows what happened, and they use these psychological who maybe spiritually know what's going on, and they use these different diagnoses from the doctor on the physical plane of what happened to the juvenile or the child, or whether it's a young adult who does something, mind is possessed, and they get locked up in prison. And we've heard many cases, too many cases, where prison being a business, a transforming money, or some of them don't make it out alive. So either they get transformed, because here I've heard it so many times, people come out, they are not the same. Because I'm thinking because of the abuse, but you don't think about the mental and the spiritual aspect of transforming. And the physical aspect. So their mind gets so possessed where they get locked up in the prison system. And then some of them don't make it out. They're murdered, which is energy, which is a ritual. So all these what I'm talking about in reference to unclean, unnatural, abomination spirits, they are definitely also connect. I'm going to go ahead and the next part of what I'm saying, what I'm learning, Sheikh Dwayne Bafabé, are rituals. These are rituals of energy fields of serving something that's filthy. And once again, that is definitely a spirit, an energy that's unclean and very filthy. That's an attack on planet Earth. That's attacking planet Earth and the universe. The organic energy of planet Earth and the universe. righteousness. It's attacking righteousness. So you have those that make it out of the prison system, and when they come out, they have been ritualed, transformed, and they either become an agent of harm, or they end up not living very long anyway. So, and it all started with unclean, unnatural, abomination spirits preying on that which didn't know that they exist, that their mind was being manipulated, that their mind was being controlled, that the whole aspect of their body was being manipulated and controlled so they can be used as some form of sacrifice. Some form of sacrifice for money. So to embrace that, or acknowledge that these unclean, unnatural spirits, whether they are in the form of African American, Black, Negro, male and female, Mongoloid that speak Spanish, South Central America, Mexico, from different parts of Africa, different countries, Pakistan, India, Muslim, those countries that maybe some unclean, unnatural spirit demonstrating themselves to be a follower of Catholicism, a follower of Christianity, a follower of Islam, a follower of Buddha. It doesn't matter. Unclean, unnatural spirits can come in many forms and possess bodies in many ways. But to embrace and acknowledge that they have an agenda, and they knew the agenda, and they've been preying on those who didn't know the realness of them existing for years. So it can make you sick to think about the agenda and how long they've been preying on the innocent mind, the mind, which is connected to the body. And then without doctors speaking on a spiritual level and mentalism, they just go straight to the books, and which can connect, if you are able to look on both planes, look at both sides, you connect the books, the science of the books, and then spiritual science as well, then that's great. But most doctors that I don't know if they're changing or not, they just go straight to the physical aspect of diagnosing, and have done it for years. It would make you sick. It just makes me sick. So it's sort of like I'm experiencing a thought, and I'm going to use this thought, I think. Let me think about it. No, I choose not to. So if you come from a family who has deliberately removed a form of knowledge of spirituality from the teachings because of fear, because of conditioning, because of mental block. Mental blocks, I think, can be handed down. It's just not spoke of. But you go to church, you hear the preacher speak about sometimes the devil and so forth, but then you leave it up to him or she, whoever's male or female, can be a preacher. You go to the Catholic Church, same thing. Go to the mosque, same thing. But for you as an individual to teach and learn for yourself what spirituality is and embrace truth. And then not only that, but teach it to your family, and your family learns truth about spirituality and being a spiritual practitioner. I think that was something that was deliberately taken away from many families, especially celestial Moors, so that they can, like, when I say celestial Moors, I didn't mean to say more Moors, but anyway, so that they can look towards someone else for their savior, instead of looking and trying to learn different aspects of themselves and who they are in reference to spirituality and being a spiritual practitioner. And I think fear of being diagnosed as schizophrenic, imbalance, mentally imbalanced, bipolar, so many forms of diagnosis doctors have of mental illnesses doctors have created, and as in forms, I'm saying names, diagnosis. And when I say created, or because it had to come from somewhere, I mean they put the words together without going. So if you're fearful of this, especially if you have people who already been diagnosed in your family from this, by doctors, okay, are you going to most likely turn to looking at yourself and learning different forms of spirituality? Or are you most likely going to keep going to the church and trusting the preacher to tell you, trusting the person in the Catholic Church, trusting the person in the mosque, or trusting someone that's in a Buddhist temple, whatever. But don't go there and plus learn on your own, okay? Because you can do both. But I'm saying, but literally, don't try to embrace and learn and pick up different books on your own, and embrace different varieties of spirituality on your own. Because if you do, and as you start experiencing different forms of unclean spirits attacking, and if you're not able to articulate, or if you're not able to adjust and or learn different ways to protect yourself, there's always someone, whether it's a Black, Negro, African American, male and female, or others, waiting to watch, observe, and lock you up. So to embrace thoughts of unclean, unnatural spirits being deliberately created, not created, but existing, but not only existing, but being used in different forms within one agenda: to keep the frequency low, to make a world of harm and bondage, that a world of limited thought, a world where so if you have artificial intelligence that's being used by the military, this is a thought, by the United States Navy and Army, or the police, artificial intelligence that you never that comes in many forms that you didn't even know exist, but they are able to invade your mental space and invade your dreams or invade your thought process while you're sleeping. What would be the reason for it if artificial intelligence was created for the healing or the benefit or some form of um, helper, like helper for those who are not like them, that are consider themselves to be human beings, celestial beings, and so forth, that are learning or are in natural law. What would be the reason of creating such freaks, such lab freaks? And I'm calling them lab freaks, because if you're not a lab freak, then why would you, if you're not a lab freak, then there would be no reason for no one to have to demonstrate or speak about the dangers of artificial intelligence being what's the word, abusive, or they being used in a dangerous manner that can cause bondage. They being used. So I'm going to just leave it at that. So if what I'm trying to say is these unclean spirits, unnatural abomination spirits, if you think sheep the way Baphomet, which I have, how long have they been using them, or have existed, not using them, not using, existing, because as a spiritual practitioner, and how long have they been preying on the mind? Like I've heard some people around Annapolis speak about somebody having a youthful mind. Like they can't wait to speak or engage with someone that has a youthful mind. I just look at them like, who are they talking about? So it's sickening to think of how long unclean, unnatural, abomination spirits have been preying on those who didn't know that they truly exist, and the agenda in reference to the attack of organic earth, which organic earth is, or I should say organic earth, which organic earth, natural, organic earth in the universe is natural law. And in natural law, there's freedom, justice, love, peace, truth. And then other aspects of energies that circulate, that is a high frequency, very high frequency that exists. But if you're a lab freak and you unclean and unnatural abomination, you want the frequency to be low. It would be your best interest to keep creating a world and try to normalize a world that is exactly opposite, and then say it's like this everywhere. In your thought, in that which if you were possessing someone else's mind, it's like this everywhere. So this is how it's supposed to be. It's sort of like, I want to use this thought right now. I just experienced a thought right now. I'm going to use it, but no, I don't think I am going to use it. No, I choose not to. So that's it. I'm going to get ready to go. And I just wanted to speak about that sheet, Dwayne Baphomet, and this will be a loving video, but it's not loving. I'm just, but make a long story short, sheet the way Baphomet, I am glad to know. I don't want, I want to move forward in knowledge. I would not change anything in reference to the knowledge I know. Yes, in reference to family members and so forth, I would, because I love them, my earth family, and I don't want to go there. But I'm not the only one. So in that, but I can what's the word? I can try my best to be a voice for those who couldn't speak, for those Moors who got caught in a web. They got caught in a web and they couldn't speak. And after they were caught mentally and so forth, it was, that was done, in reference to not being able to acknowledge the spiritual plane of unnatural abomination spirit. Maybe Moors who because when you're dealing with unnatural abomination spirits, they possess the mind. So you have Moors that was turning to blacks that were possessed, because the blacks had some type of knowledge and science about what was going on. But they don't realize the blacks, the Negro, African American that they were turning to, that conscious Negro male and female, was possessed and was part of the whole agenda, because its mind is possessed. Not my mind, but its mind possessed. So its whole agenda is to be a part of the reincarnation of the Moor who don't know who she or he is, and how they are truly different, how we are not the same. So a lot of the black Negroes and other that are like it, whether it's from South Central America, Mexico, or from different parts of Africa, that are unclean and unnatural spirit, but a lot of them have that have been possessed, or their mind is possessed. They have gotten away with fooling and tricking and demonstrating some form of knowledge for so long. And so when you're dealing with those that have dealt with, who is a part of the agenda of bondage, and they see that the truth is known about them, then they start to behave odd, real odd. Not all, because not all is, so I'm not classifying all being the same. Okay, let me say that. But those, and they're not all that behave odd either. But what I'm saying is, there are some, they start behaving real odd and get aggressive, violent. They can't control themselves, because truth is there. And so if they know that that they dealing with a Moor, or is among a Moor, not dealing with, that is in truth, then they have to embrace and acknowledge their destruction. Islam. Because once that unclean, unnatural abomination spirit see that they are among Moors, that is in the spirit of truth, which truth is the connection to natural law of the earth and the universe, that truth is natural law, the earth and the universe, then that abomination black, that's unclean and unnatural in spirit, that's just so happen to be African American black Negro, also has to embrace their destruction and their ending. Islam. That's why some of them, I'm not saying all, start to behave like they can't control themselves, because that spirit that's unclean and unnatural that's in that body start going crazy. I guess you want to say. Same with the Mongoloid that speak Spanish, or others. So pale skin. And that's just what it is. It is what it is, that, like so many say. Anyway, that's my thought process. I'll talk to you later. All right, I gotta go. Oh, actually, someone just turned on the water, and I was like, why am I all of a sudden? Usually, because I don't know. Did you hear this? Someone just turned on the water, and then someone. So I was feeling like a little pressure here, and someone was outside talking, just a slight pressure, and all of a sudden, when I was finishing that thought, articulating that thought, then I wanted to end the video. So I thought that was odd. Anyway, let me go ahead and go. I'll talk to you later. I'm not feeling better. I am feeling better now that I took a shower, and I'm to end this video. I'm gonna work on my locks slowly for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna take a lot of time, and I'm studying thought, studying my mind. For instance, if I stop my thought process like that after there's some type of sound, like the United States Navy, Army, the military, the police, they probably know about these different behavior I guess you want to say behavior acts that in reference to the mind. They probably, I would think they have studied the mind to the T, because they have to. They supposed to be protectorate of those who are reclaiming their actual freedom. So those that are in the United States Navy, Army, the military, the police, and so forth. I'm not saying the police are, but definitely the military. They definitely know, but the police know the mind too. That's just part of their, they have to know the different personalities and so forth, and that exists. So that's something to think about as well. So anyway, someone closed the door out there, and I just stopped my thought just like that. So I had to reclaim my thought. It's like, why did I want to stop the video just like that? That's how I study myself. It's like, why? Let me keep the flow. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I like I said, just got out of the shower, and this was a serious video. It wasn't lovey, but anyway, I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll send another one. I'll make another one before I go to bed. All right, this is probably gonna take 2 weeks to do my hair. It's long.